Hi everyone, my name is Wawa and I am back with more Nation Wars King of the Sea tournament. Match number 2 between Team Indonesia and Team Philippines, and it is gonna be game number 1 between Eiduart spawning here as the red Terran, and he is going up against Def spawning as the blue Protoss. Now this was gonna be game number 1, and we are gonna do this right here at Lost Temple. Lost Temple, as we all know, is a very popular map, and only people who don't play Starcraft doesn't really know about Lost Temple, so I'm not really gonna go into it that much. I have to say though that Terran has a pretty good advantage on this map because of these high ledges, just really overlooking this natural expansion. And if that do happen, it is gonna be big trouble for Def. But if Def does do the smart thing to do, or does do really good at defending that thing, now it is gonna be GG for Edorat, as we are gonna see basic openings right here right now for both players. Now this is actually a pretty good idea to put your supply depot here, as it is gonna limit the entrance to some back attacks. If ever some zealots just walk into your mineral line, it is gonna give them less space to move around, and they can't really go out that way. And maybe just a barracks over here is gonna be good also, as it is gonna limit also their entrance to that mineral line, as we are seeing some basic openings right here. Gateway being thrown down right here for depth. So basic openings right now, 12 gateway and 12 racks. Nothing too unusual yet, and we are getting refinery almost on time. Maybe it's a little bit late than usual, but it's still not too bad at all, as an assimilator is also gonna go down right now. Now this is actually match number 2, and match number 1 was taken by Team Philippines. Dream Spirit just shown some awesome gameplays right there, and pretty fancy game number 3 opening, like proxy gateway. And Kenjiro just didn't really had any idea on how to defend that, and it is pretty hard to defend, but it went on for a while though. That proxy gateway rush did went on for a while, and Kenjiro actually had a chance to win that match, but sadly he didn't have enough units, and that cost him the game. So yeah, here we go right now. Cybernetic score is gonna be thrown down. Hey, don't get it wrong. Like Kendra also performed pretty well, especially in that map Scrap Station. He did do a lot of cool fancy works also, as it did not, or Grimster did not expect that play at all, as he was caught off guard and completely skipped off all land units and just went straight to Void Race, as he did not expect that there are a couple of barracks in the map also, and he did not see that. So that is a big no-no for Dream Spirit, and for you guys to remember, always scout around, especially if the command center of your enemy is not where it's supposed to be. Now we are seeing some typical openings right now for both players, as we have two Marines right now on the field for Eiduart, and we are just seeing the first zealot right here for Def. So some people like to do some harassment with that first zealot, sending them straight right here in the middle line, as the Terran is gonna have a little bit of a hard time countering that first out. But now he has 3 Marines right now, so it is gonna be a tough one if ever that Zealot decides to push out. And finally a Stalker is gonna come out for Def, but we are seeing the SCV right here is gonna come in and gonna try to do some scouting, as it is gonna be successfully walking in, and gonna see that there are nothing really unusual in the play of Def, as we are seeing a robotics facility here pretty early in the game. Usually people do a 2 gateway before the robotics facility, but it also works sometimes. Sometimes it's much better because you can get that first observer, which is very crucial, out of the way. And as we're seeing a command center very early in the game right here for Eiduart, so he's gonna try to go for a macro build right now, but I don't think it is gonna be smart of him, because he is going up against Dev, the monthly Philippine online tournament champion for the season 1, and he did win a couple of money over there on that tournament, and he did perform well also. As we are, oh, excuse me, as we are seeing another barracks going up here for Eiduart, and a third one is actually on the way also, so it is gonna be an all Marine Marauder push here for Eiduart, as we are seeing gateway buildings as usual for Proto. So 3 gate to 1 robo right here for Def. I'm not sure if we can actually support all of these gateways with that robotics facility, because all those units are very expensive, especially if you're just doing a 1 base and another one is gonna be thrown down. But it is pretty much okay if you do lose all of your units or most of your units. You can just easily warp gate them in and it's gonna be GG for your enemy, especially if they don't have any more units in their base. And here we are gonna see a bunker right in front of Eiduart's base. We are seeing a couple of units right now for Eiduart. Those are actually pretty scary units, and a factory is gonna be coming up right now, and I'm probably gonna see some starport pretty soon, as we are expecting medevacs to come out pretty early right now. And here we go, warp prison play. I'm not sure what he's gonna do with this warp prison. Maybe he will warp some units from behind, as he does have 4 gateways, and 4 zealots can easily do a lot of damage inside of that base, easily killing a lot of those SCVs, or maybe a couple of stalkers could do the deed and could do especially the damage. And here we go, a proxy pylon is already placed right here at the gold expansion outside of Eiduart's base. So we are gonna see that Def is gonna do for the early push. He is gonna be the one who is gonna be on the offensive. This is actually not usual, as we do see usually that the Terrans are always in the offensive. And here we go. We are seeing Def gonna push in and gonna shield and gonna try to focus down on this bunker, as it is empty right now. And there we go. Good job taking that down. And the second bunker is gonna be forced down and maybe focus fired. And oh no, it's gonna have a hard time with that. And Eiduart is not really repairing, and this is not a good looking right now for Eiduart. He did lose that couple of bunkers, and there are 2 more or 3 more stalkers in the field, but there are tons of marines and tons of marauders right here. And also units are being warped in from the back of Eiduart's base. For 2 zealots are doing a lot of damage right here, but there are a lot of marines and a lot of marauders right now on the field, so it is not going to be an easy win right there. But Eiduart did lose a lot of units, a lot of harvesters, and he's just not doing really well with his micro, and he did lose a lot of more harvesters. There's a couple more harvesters at the natural of the base, but it is not looking right now. Let's look at the units tab right now. We only have 15 SCVs for Eiduart as compared to 27 for Dev. So this is not looking good right now for Eiduart, as he is losing tons and tons of units. Force field right now on the ramp of Eiduart's base, so he could really focus fire on those units or on those harvesters, as it is going to be not looking good for Eiduart. He can't really put down any units, or cannot really send down any units, and he's just gonna focus fire on this command center, orbital command. He is not even gonna try to lift it out, and there you go, finally lifting it off. Not a good not looking good right now for Eiduart, as there are more stalkers coming in on the field. And here we go, Eiduart is just putting 4 marines at the back, making sure that there are more backdoor drops are gonna be happening anytime soon, as we are seeing another warp pressing beam warped in on the way. So this proxy pylon and that warping from the back doing a ton of damage in the economy of Eiduart, that does making it very hard for him to do any more units or make any more units, as he needs to make more SEVs right now, and he is not making SEVs. Oh my god, but that is not really the main focus right now, as he does need to defend. So maybe that is a good idea, but as Day9 always says, that always make SCB, always make supply depots, always make probes, never get supply block. That's the only thing that's gonna kill you the most, and when you do that, it's gonna be a good thing for you. And here we go, blocking that wall, blocking that ramp again, tracking those marauders. They couldn't really micro anymore, as those stalkers are gonna take them out one by one very easily, and those marauders finally finding a way to get out of those trapped corners. But it is not really looking good right now for the Eiduart right now, as Def is gonna take down a lot of those marauders very easily. There are still 6 marauders or 6 stalkers on the field, as there are only 2 marauders on the field right now and 4 marines. So this is gonna be it for Eiduart. This is gonna be GG. Eiduart losing to Def 1-0. Good job by Def with that early push. Well, everyone always has a hard time with that 4-gate push, but we do see the drop doing a lot of damage to that. So it is gonna be over for game number 1. It is gonna be Def taking the lead right now, 1-0 over Eiduart, and it's gonna be match number 2, game number 2 coming right up for match number 2. Stay tuned.